What is going on, everybody? Now that the NFL has kicked off a little bit, we got some preseason football. We are going to predict the NFL standings, the playoff tree, the Super Bowl, and we are going to just predict what's going to happen. Now, I understand that I'm going to be wrong with some of these guesses. Obviously, it's not an easy thing to predict in the NFL. Sometimes things happen when you just really no one knew that was coming. No one knew that at all. I mean, let's be real. If you said before the season last year the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl, you're a jerk off. You are. So you don't know what's going to happen. And we're going to take a look after the season's over. We're going to take a look back at these guesses, laugh a little bit, share some jokes, share some laughs, and just compare what happened actually to what I predicted here in August, right after preseason week 1. Now, we're going to stick with the NFC East, and I can't not pick the Birds, all right? Listen, with their type of roster, I can't not pick the Birds to end up winning the division. I have Birds, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins. Birds being the number 1 seed in the entire NFC. You move to the NFC South. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers. Saints having the second best record in the NFC. NFC North, Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears. You're going to have the Vikings hitting us with a wild card spot. Then you have 49ers winning the West. That's right, I have the 49ers beating the Rams, but I do have the Rams getting into the playoffs as a wild card squad. Seahawks, Cardinals missing the playoffs in the NFC. AFC East, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, Jets. Patriots with the 2 seed in the AFC. Then I have the Broncos winning the West, the Chiefs in that second wild card spot, Raiders, Chargers. And then the AFC North, Steelers with the number 1 seed in the entire AFC. The Ravens are going to make some noise this year. The Browns are going to win more games than the Bengals. How about that? The Browns are going to win more games than the Bengals. And then the AFC South, I have the Texans, the Colts with the wild card spot, Andrew Luck. How about the Jags falling out of the playoffs, huh? AFC Championship game to out of the playoffs. And then the Titans finishing last after they had an upset last year against the Chiefs in the first round of the playoffs. So the way that the NFC playoffs would pan out, it would be Rams versus Packers week 1 of the playoffs, and the Vikings versus the 49ers. 49ers at home. How about that? Jimmy Garoppolo, Richard Sherman, Kyle Shanahan. Second round, we have the Packers winning that game. Packers versus Birds. And the 49ers versus the Saints. Moving to the NFC Championship game, we will have the Eagles facing off against the Saints in New Orleans. How about that, Kamara? You want that? Do you want that? That's what you're going to get. And then we have the Eagles advancing to the Super Bowl. So let's see who we will be playing. Going through the AFC, you have the Colts versus the Texans in the first round. You have the Broncos versus the Chiefs in the first round. You move along. Colts win game 1. Andrew Luck is coming back and he's going to end up winning. He's making it to the second round of playoffs where he will fall to the Steelers. So the Steelers are moving on to the AFC Championship game. Chiefs versus Patriots. We have the Pats. Listen, the AFC is not very good right now at this moment. So that's why we have, another Pats, another Steelers fight at the end. Let's be real. And I'm going to have the Steelers taking it to move on to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And we're going to have a Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania matchup in the bowl. Now, listen, again, it's not fun to pick the Eagles again, but when you have this type of roster, I'm sorry, but I can't not pick the Eagles to make it back to the Super Bowl. Whether it happens or not, I can't sit here as a fan and say that they don't have what it takes to do it. And they're still hungry enough with enough guys that weren't on that Super Bowl squad last year to the point where I have to pick them. So my guess, those are my guesses. My guess is Eagles beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl for a Pennsylvania matchup. And we are going to take a look at this after the season and realistically probably laugh about where I had some of these teams, or hey, maybe I nailed every single one of them. I will be wrong I understand that. This is just supposed to be fun. This is just my guesses, my predictions. We're going to see what happens. It's a little bit entertaining. Let me know what you think down below. If I was ridiculous on some of them, which, I don't know. Browns winning some games this year? We'll see. We'll see. Let me know down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.